Welcome to our first video for MasterHold'emPoker.com. If you're coming to us as a beginner or intermediate player or even an advanced player, we've got something for you. We're going to take some time and we're going to show you what starting hands to play in a game of poker and how to use where you're sitting at the table to really maximize your profit. We have already established our small blind and our big blind at our poker table for our first hand of Texas Hold'em. I'm sitting on the dealer button. If you're not familiar with any of these terms that I've mentioned, you want to go to our website, MasterHold'emPoker.com, and check out the introduction to Texas Hold'em. I'll show you what all of this terminology means. The best possible place to sit at the poker table is on the dealer button. It's indicated by this white disc that says dealer. The advantage to this is after the first three cards come out, you're going to get to act last after every opponent at the table. This allows you to make informed decisions and to make sure that you're making the best possible investment for your money. I want to show you what Phil Hellmuth has suggested in his book as some of the best starting hands when you're playing the game of poker. One of these is what they call pocket kings, which is simply a pair of kings in your hand. Another suggestion he has is pocket queens. Again, a high-ranked pair to start off your hand. He suggests in his book that you can play these from anywhere that you're sitting at the table. I personally don't agree with this. I think that if you're going to play these hands, it's better to play them when you're either on the button or in one of the later positions that we're going to talk about. As I mentioned earlier, when you're playing, being on the button is the best possible spot. Now let's say, for example, that you weren't on the button, that you were the first person at the table to make a move. And let's say you had a total of 9 people sitting at the table with you. Well, with those starting hands that we talked about, the king-queen or the queen-queen, you could definitely play those from an early spot. But let's say you had something that wasn't quite as good, like maybe deuce-4. Well, you definitely couldn't play that from the beginning, and here's why. You have a lot of people behind you that are going to be making decisions after you make your decision. And that puts them at an advantage against you. That being said, you want to be as late as possible to your opponents so that you always have that advantage. Alright, again, we're sitting on the button. Now, we've been dealt our cards, and we've been lucky enough to get a hold of these little bad boys. Ace-Ace, the best possible starting hand in Texas Hold'em poker. Now, the guy to our left in the small blind is at a disadvantage. After the first 3 cards come out, he's going to be the first person to make a decision. Let's see what he has. He's holding 2 4s. Not too bad, but it certainly can't hold up against some aces. We look at the guy in the big blind, and he's holding Jack-Deuce. Now, let's suppose that the first betting round has already been finished, and the first 3 cards are going to be brought out by the dealer. Let's take a look. Got a Jack, 4, and an ace. If you're on the dealer button position, this is an awesome flop for you. You've hit 3 aces, which is a pretty high-ranked hand. Again, if you're not familiar with the ranking of poker hands, you should go to the website and check out the introduction to Texas Hold'em. When we look at the guy in the small blind, he's hit 3 4s. The guy in the big blind has hit the jacks. The advantage to you being on the button is that when these guys go first, there's a good chance that they're going to want to bet money with their hand. Let's say, for example, that this guy with the 3 4s bets like $200 into the pot, and that this guy over here decides to stay in. With you over here in the button, you get to act last, so you get to see, okay, these guys like their hand, but from looking at the board, I know for a fact that this is the best possible hand that could exist in this situation. At this point, being in position, you can either choose to match that bet or be aggressive, like I like to do, and put more money in the pot. In fact, if I were playing this hand for real, I would definitely put more money in the pot. This puts pressure on your opponents and forces them to make a decision. In this situation, the guy with the jack deuce, probably not going to hang around, but the guy with the fours, he's definitely stuck. He can't see that you have 3 aces and that he's beat, and there's a good chance you're going to get all those chips. This has been a short example lesson from MasterHold'emPoker.com. If you'd like to see the rest of this lesson or get more information, definitely go check out the site. Our lessons are specially designed for people of all skill levels, beginners, intermediate players, and even advanced players. We can even create a lesson custom designed around you and your skill level. So what are you waiting for? Come on down to the website and see what other people are saying about this exciting poker program. I look forward to seeing you there.